Yo, what is good, YouTube? Before we get into the actual video, I just want to say a special thanks to all you guys for supporting me throughout this time, especially for somebody like me that was only ever really uploading clips and not really making videos. Y'all still showed love and support and commented. I thank you all for that. I really am going to start bringing y'all the content y'all deserve with actual videos and edits and all that good stuff there, especially for 23. We got a lot of great stuff planned. Also, special thanks and shout out to my dog, a great friend of mine, actually on here, Jersey Mate 93. He's done the editing for me for throughout this video, my intro, everything that y'all been seeing, all the special effects. That's him. He's my dog, and he's really been pushing me lately. So special shout out and thanks to him. Me and him got a lot of great content for you guys coming up in 23. But just thank you guys again. And, without further ado, let's get into this video and really show you guys how to get y'all's bag straight online. So we're going to be discussing a few things in this video. All of these tips are going to pretty much help you out when it comes to your dribbling and your ISO bag online. We're going to be talking about how to set up hop jumpers with people like Steph Curry, for an instance. One of the other big things is how to attack off-ball defense. That's going to be something huge that you face online with people like PG we got in this video. And also about how to read a defender while you're blended, which is very, very important when it comes to isolations there as well. And we got CJ McCollum as an example. So let's really get into some of these clips. So when it comes to setting up your jumpers online, this is obviously very key and pivotal to being able to, have a real big bag online. Setting up jumpers, especially against people that shade, is very, very important, because people that tend to shade online, like shading, the whole point of that defense is to kind of cut you off and only give you one side to work with. But when you have that one side, they're still giving you a ample amount of space to really, get your shots off. And for examples like in this clip, this guy is pretty much shading me and trying to force me one way, basically on that left side. And really one of the things is if you mix up your dribbling and kind of hide where you want to go, which is one about, learning about how to blend your animations together, it can kind of really shield, your actual desired direction and still give you an angle and enough space to get your shots off. So for instance, in things like this clip, he's completely kind of just shading me to my left side, similar to like the first clip, in which now he's still giving me ample opportunity to kind of turbo, to hide where I want to go and still get my jumper and my hop steps off in that same instance. So even like in clips like these, dribble blending is huge, is where just disguising where you want to go is the main objective when it comes to dribble blending. Reading where the defender is kind of shading you, attacking your openings, and then just basically reading what the defender gives you at that moment in time. And all these examples here are examples of the guy shading me and me kind of disguising. So for instance, in this clip, and my thought process was just dribble blend, be very patient. Even when they're shading you, be very, very patient. See the angle, create the angle for the most part if you can, and then attack off that angle, and then read at that point whenever they're trying to cut you off or shade you to wherever their desired direction is. Kind of read where that space that you're gonna have when they're trying to cut you off, and make the ample, or the correct move or the correct jumper there to kind of get that space and green your shot. It's mainly also knowing your type of player that you're using for all of these guys, like the PG and the CJ clips here that you're seeing. I know that these guys are very, very good when it comes to shooting off the ball. So at these points, you're just trying to read your defender, read how they're shading you, and kind of use your hop jumpers to create that space off those shadings. Don't be scared when somebody shades you. It doesn't really, they're just basically cutting you off from a certain space, but it doesn't mean you don't have space to work with. So in all of these clips, using your dribble blending, reading the defender and where they're shading you is obviously very, very key. And then still try to create your angles, because even when they're shading you, especially if you got a defender that's biting like on this clip here, you can still create your your openings, with your dribble blending, hide where you want to go, and then attacking that angle, and then basically using your hop steps or your step backs to create your space and finishing off that play. So easy example here, I'm kind of just dribble blending him, creating that angle. He was still trying to like shade me to a certain area, but you attack the correct way, and those step backs are going to be there when they're shading you. Trust me. It's just very, very huge that you just hide basically where you want to go, and then using your dribble blending, mixing it with reading what the defender is doing. That is also very, very, very key. And then even if they're shading you, like I said, just attack that space that they're giving you. You don't really want to be too scared of the shading. It's not necessarily, meaning that you won't have any, thing to work with. They're just trying to limit your space. But next thing we want to talk about is attacking CPU defenders. Now, obviously, this is one of the huge things that's very tough to deal with online, but it's not impossible. Same thing when it comes to CPU. You want to use very similar methods in as far as how you would use against an actual player. Mainly, you want to read what the CPU is doing as far as how they're trying to guard you. Use your dribble blending as well, but the main thing with CPU is you have to create angles. In all these clips here, you're gonna see me breaking down the CPU, trying to read which way the CPU is kind of like leaning me towards. Create that angle, and you want to attack hard. Attack hard in one direction, and basically read what the defense is giving you, whether it be inside the paint or if you have a shot gather opportunity, which is like a hop step or a step back. Both of the, like in this clip here, I'm trying to use CJ to break him down, use my dribble blending here. I create an angle, attack properly off that angle, and then I get to the cup and then finish that play. So then when it comes to reading on-ball defense, main thing is never really want to try to look at your player. Just read what the defense is doing there. So, in this instance, I'm not really looking at CJ. I already know what I really am doing with him as far as my dribbling. I'm just trying to read how he's trying to play me. You see he's trying to press me on in the half court. I see the cutoff opportunity. I use my behind the back to get past him, and I get the floater for the and one. So main thing is really just look at your defender. In real life, they tell you don't look at the ball, read the defender. Same thing in 2K. Once you get down your dribble blending, don't really look at your player too much. Just try to read what the defender is giving you in this instance, and know your player, right? So he's basically just trying to cut me off or, seal me and not let me get to that 3-point shot. But I use my dribble blending to kind of get an ankle breaker there and get to the cup and finish with Curry. So know your players, which is huge. Right? And then at the end of the day, read what the defense is giving you. Always pay attention to the direction that they're sending you. And basically, you want to take control. Don't let the defense kind of send you where they want to. Try to be able to mix your blending up to throw them off to where you can kind of guide the defense. So in this instance here, read what they're doing. Then this guy, he was trying to kind of like shade me with Kyrie and basically send me in one direction. I'm using my walk-up size up to read him, throw him off a little bit. I go right into a walking size up, into a side size up, attack hard in one direction, use my behind the back, and get to the paint and able to finish there with Curry. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I really wanted to bring you guys something that can help you out in your bag when it comes to these online streets, especially heading into 23. We got huge plans for 23. Special shout out to all you guys once again. If you guys like it, comment, subscribe. Any feedback is always welcomed, and I appreciate y'all. We'll be seeing y'all soon.